Good afternoon to all my fellow Americans. Here once again, my name is Eduardo Rodriguez here from the island of Puerto Rico to inform on what's happening in the neighboring island of our brothers in Cuba who are struggling against this evil precept called socialism, a word which people like to use. I'm talking about the extreme left in order to make people believe it's a social system, which it's not. It's a criminal, evil, deadly system. So let me go on to what's happening in Cuba. I'm going to start off with it. This is from Unpaco. And the person who's explaining this, the reporter, his name is Silverio Portal Contreras, a true hero who loves his people and wants to see it free from misery and from the lack of freedom. Here we go. Breadlines, in order to receive a ration of yogurt. Yogurt, a type of product which is edible that you can find in any store, any supermarket, even pharmacies and small stores. You can find yogurt anywhere under capitalism in a free marketing system, which Joe Biden's Islamic communist regime is trying to destroy. Still calling themselves Democrat Party, but they're desperately trying to destroy the United States. Why? Because they want to enslave the people in order to stay in power eternally. That's until God comes back to earth and destroys this evil, which is covering the world. Or hopefully we can be saved from this nightmare. Let's see what happens. Let me show you the bread lines. And I'm going to cut it off real quickly because of author's rights. So I'm going to show you just a little bit of the bread line. I want you to see the bread line. And that's the bread lines right there. A large bread line in order to get this product called yogurt. Like I said, where you can find anywhere. You could buy it anywhere, cheap. Well, now these products and every products are starting to inflate because of the current administration in the United States, which is socialist. Let me put that socialist so you understand that both of them are the same thing. Let me go to the next one here. I want you to see this video. I'm not going to show you the video because, like I say, they'll accuse me of stealing the author's rights. This is from ADN Cuba. They're comparing the history of Cuba and presently the history of Cuba economically, before and after. Comparing it with Israel and Taiwan, which are two countries smaller than the island of Cuba. One that has been destroyed by socialism, and the other two that have been progressive and booming economically due to capitalism, which the extreme left hates. Unless they have to live it. Then when they start to live it, then they start screaming and crying. Oh, what I've done. Oh, I didn't vote for that. You voted for that. A lot of them voted for that, or want that, or support that. Then they start screaming when they have to practice that. The thing is, they stole the elections, and we, the conservative side, who knows history, and are trying to save us from this evil, criminal, murderous system, is trying to help to avoid, and people won't listen. And they're trying to impose it upon everybody. Everybody's going to suffer. And the thing is, like I say, they stole the elections. and they're trying to push it as quick as possible. Why? Because they know, just like the criminals of the communist system in Cuba or socialist system in Cuba, should be in prison, should be tried and put in prison, and maybe worse, for the crimes they have committed. And the so-called Democrats, who we all know are socialists and support of terrorism, including Islamic terrorism, which wants the total annihilation of Israel and the United States as it is. No, they should be in prison. They have committed crimes, including the current president, illegitimate president, with his son, crackhead son, who are both should be in prison permanently. Praying to God that justice can be imposed upon these criminals in the White House. Not only that, they're trying to impose restrictions and laws that would restrict not people who are criticizing in whole, but the conservative voice, because they're trying to attack the conservative voice. Not them. They can criticize all they want, they can lie all they want with no consequences. But the conservative voice are the ones who are guilty of everything that they are guilty of. They're imposing and practicing the same evilness that socialism has imposed upon wherever it has been established. Be extreme left or extreme right. Goebbels, I think, said something similar to that. I don't remember the exact words, but it's what, like, we're going to accuse those of what we are guilty of, or something like that. I don't remember the exact words, but that was Goebbels who mentioned something to the effect, but I just can't remember the exact words. That's why we need to study history. I know it exists, that order, because I've read it, but the exact words I can't remember. He was the minister of I think advertisement. We call it. No, wait a minute. There's another word for it. It's not advertisement. I just can't remember. Let me go on. But read it, because this guy was evil. Propaganda. He was the minister of propaganda. Oh, another name that I forgot was Sarah Gonzalez yesterday. Yesterday I was posting a video, and I mentioned the Blaze, which is great. I love it. It's a great source of information, including Dan Bongino, another great source, Dr. Steve Turley. There are many others. Anthony Brian Logan, The Black Perspective, and there's another one called Black Conservative, I think it is. Another one, and who claims he's half Puerto Rican and half American, born in the United States. But he speaks a little bit of Spanish and he understands something about Puerto Rico. Maybe he never ate a la capurria, but at least he accepts he's part Puerto Rican, like I am. But like you could see, I'm not black. But I'm married to a woman who I love dearly. We've been married for 46 years, whose descendants, who's part black and part white. Her grandfather was black, and her grandmother was white. I love her dearly. We've been married for 46 and going on. I wish I had a picture to show you, me and her when we got married, but I don't want to show you it now because at the age, we look so terrible over here. I just don't want to. I don't think she wants me to show a picture now. But when we were young and she was young, she was just gorgeous. I mean, she was beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let me in the heart, not only physically, but in the content of her character, she was beautiful too. She is beautiful, but she's still alive. Let me be careful with the way I say this. I'm saying she was. It's not that she was. She still is. She's still alive and healthier than me. So let me go on to the next one here. I want to show you. Okay, there's a crisis due to shortage of liquefied gas that the people need for cooking gas. Let me show you. You probably won't understand what's happening here, but the people are complaining. No gas. There you go. And the thing about this, it's like they're saying here, they're complaining that in some cases they have to sleep in the area the day before in order to get gas, if there is any. And sometimes in the line, when they, at a certain moment at the line, they run out of it. They wasted their time. It's a freaking nightmare. You want socialism? Why don't you go live it in those who want socialism? Hey, I invite you, go live it in Cuba. Without any money, without any help, go live it. See if you can survive. You'll probably be screaming to get out of there the day after. You probably won't last a day. Once you see the nightmare you're gonna have to go through. It's the same nightmare they're gonna impose on the United, and they're doing it. They're doing it at accelerated pace. Why? Because they want you to be a slave. And if you don't agree with their policies, the vaccines and other kinds of restricted policies, including elimination of the Second Amendment and of free speech, control free speech, only to the conservative part, not to them. They can talk all they want. You'll see. You'll regret it. Too bad I had to live it, if I had to live it. I hope I don't. And at my stage of age and my conditions for health, I hope I don't last to see it, if it happens. Okay, let me go to the next one here. I'm gonna show you what the wonders of the medical system in Cuba, in socialism, under socialism. There's a blackout. There was a blackout at a certain hospital called Pando Ferrer. It's a ophthalmological hospital, which I think has to do with the eye specialist in Havana, Cuba. There's a blackout. This is in the medical wonders that Michael Moore and Bernie Sanders and AOC and many other communist socialists talk about. The wonders of socialism. They don't have a backup for these to avoid these blackouts. And it's not because of what they're calling. Let's see what they're calling the blockade. It's not due to the blockade. It's due to the ideology, because the system doesn't work. It just plainly doesn't work. You're not permitted. Don't look. It's not even worth studying in Cuba, because no matter what you study, you can't produce. They won't allow you to produce. You become an engineer, an architect, you can't do nothing with it, but probably wipe your rear with it, with the diploma, because you can't do anything. They won't allow you. They won't allow progression. unless it is in their favor economically. I'm talking about the socialists, the people in power. Okay, let me show you this one here. Okay, let me show you the hospital. There's a videotape of the hospital. I'm not going to show it too long because, like I said, they're going to accuse me of the author's right. There's a blackout. Well, you can't see anything, but there's a blackout right there. The people are standing in line in a blackout. You can't see anything. It's darkness. They're in a corridor, in the hallway. Let me put it that way: in the hallway, in line. Let me see if you can see it again. No, you can't see it because it's dark. They're standing in darkness. Okay, let me go to the next one here. If you don't believe me, what I'm saying when I'm mentioning that the current administration under this illegitimate president called Joe Biden is not trying to impose communism, you can see it live on TV what they're doing, and they're doing it. It's exactly the same thing they do before they fall under communism, like it happened in Cuba, like it happened in Venezuela, like it happened in North Korea, like it happened in Nicaragua and China. The only thing is happening worse. It's happening worse. At least China had the common sense to open up the free market. That's why they're now an economical superpower. Even though they got brutal socialist repression against the people there. You can't utter a word. You can't say anything critical to the system because they'll make you disappear. But they're using the same tactics, talking about Biden's administration right now, which is Islamic communists, because they support terrorism. And they support them, and they're sending money to terrorist nations that wants the total annihilation of Israel and the United States. And if you don't believe me, just go to Jihad Watch, and you see videos, and you see videos right there live of what's happening in these countries, and what the people there, the system is imposing or determined to do against the United States and Israel. I'm not trying to be Islamophobe, and if I am Islamophobe, the ones that are guilty of that are them. Why? Just look at 9/11. What happened in 9/11? Look at the attacks. People that have been murdered, including in American soil. People that have been decapitated. People that have been their throats cut, shot, right here in American soil, including in massacres. Including massacres. And it started off mainly, it started getting worse and accelerating under Barry Soetoro. You know who Barry Soetoro is? None other than the Barack Hussein Obama, who changed his name to his Islamic name. Why? Why? Just figure out that one. Think about it. And then this last one I want to talk about is from The Blaze TV. And the reporter, Rubin Report. It says Rubin Report here. I'm going to show you just a little piece. Watch how CNN describes Antifa protests as cops' car burns in the background. No, as a matter of fact, I'm not going to show it because I know what they're going to do quickly. They're going to tell me, hey, we banned this or restricted this, or we're not going to show this because you're violating the author's rights. And what I'm going to do is helping to spread the truth of what's happening. You see the reporter talking about, oh, this is mainly a peaceful reporter. These people are from CNN, from CNN. And then you see in the background, you see a police car burning due to the attack by Antifa. And then this group, Antifa, which calls us fascists, are doing what fascists do, destroy and burn down. And they're calling us fascists. We're the fascists. We're the racists. This is Antifa. And Black Lives Matter are not less guilty. They're just the same. As a matter of fact, they declare themselves socialists. Not only socialists, they say even worse, communists. Yes, we are communists. A system that will level them to a state of permanent slavery. I don't know if they got professions. I don't know if any of them have professions, but if they have a profession, let's say that they have a law degree, because I think I've seen cases where they have law degrees. You know how much a lawyer makes in a socialist, the socialist paradise of Cuba? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's $27 a month. That's what you want to make? Can you live on that? You have many of them that had to get donations or clothes from I don't know where, or the salaries. They had to work another 2 or 3 jobs. Even women, especially women who can afford to do this. Beautiful doctor women, that female doctors that had to go and prostitute themselves in the tourist section in order to get milk for the kids babies or childs who are crying because they want milk. Mommy, give me milk. They had to go out in the streets at night and work as prostitutes in order to get the money to buy the milk. This is what the socialists want for you: equal communists. So think about it. Don't just read history. Read what happened in the Great Revolution of China. How many millions of Chinese were executed and died of starvation. Russia, Ukraine from 1932 to 33. How many millions of people died under communism or socialism? Let's put socialism, which equals communism. It's the same evil. The only thing they're written differently, but it's the same crap. If you want that for you, you got to be you got to be extremely stupid, ignorant, or you're evil. But if you're not, you say, "Oh, I don't know too much about." Well, go. You don't know too much about it. Go live it. Tell your parents, or if you live by yourself, just go live it. You don't have to give up your citizenship. But in case you do, oh God, I hope they won't let you back in, because you deserve to be suffering under an ideology which you to refuse to admit is deadly. So I hope you're not that stupid. Just go live it. Go live it for a year. You say, "Oh, I'm going to go." You're not going to last a year. Well, go live it for a year. "Oh, I'm going to go for a year." You probably be back the next day. When you see the things come happening, where you can't get a bar, and not with money, because it's easy to talk if you got backup from capitalism, which you hate. Go without the money. Look, I'm going to survive over here. Or tell them, "Hey, just send me. I want to survive under the what they pay a normal person there, and if your pension on $4, and if you're a veteran on $3, because they took away the $1, and now they're giving the amount of $3 in American money to a veteran in Cuba that fought in Angola. Go and do that. See if you can survive on $3. I'm telling you, make sure you have, make sure, yeah, if you go on the return, just put down reserved or not active or just on notice. So that way, when you see the horrors of socialism with your own eyes, at least you have the advantage to say, "Oh, go to the airport, activate this already paid ballot because I want to go back, or the ticket. I want to go back." Believe me, you're going to want to go back. So this is going to be it for today. God bless you all. I always pray that God bless my country eternally. I stand with God in Israel eternally. And I pray to God that someday Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, North Korea, and China be free from this nightmare called socialism. So see you tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.